the great and powerful Yoko Ono,
bringing down the Beatles herself,
once said, "Look at yourself in the mirror and don't be afraid to notice how beautiful you are." And you are beautiful. Let's get into it on the Derek O'Shea Show. Welcome to the revolution.
Come on.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to... thanks, Biden. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope you're having a freaking fantastic day. I saw this clip today, and it brought up that mirror quote from Yoko Ono. Noticing yourself in the mirror. I think it's important as human beings to be accountable for things that we say and maybe, learn a little bit and change the way we do things and be held a mirror to maybe say, Derek, you once said this and now you're saying this, and I can come to terms with, yeah, maybe I changed my mind, or maybe I'm a different person today than I was yesterday, and I'm growing as a human being. I'm progressing, whatever word you want to use of the day. But it's important to look in the mirror, see yourself, and be comfortable with who you are. Because when you're comfortable with who you are, you feel free, you feel weightless, you accept who you are, you can live a life of integrity. You don't have to live in isolation, you don't have to hide yourself from other people, you can just be yourself. It's hard, though, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you say one thing but mean another, isn't it? Because then you start to develop this alter ego. You can even name it a different name. You can call it a JT or Trudeauian or, Castro's son, whatever word you want to use. You can name it something. And so when you're saying honest and true things, but then you say things that maybe are gray area lies, you can have a different alter ego. But it's important to be held accountable for things you say. It's important to not have double speak. It's important to be acceptable, accept who you are in your own body. And so when I saw this clip today of Justin Trudeau, I thought, wow, this guy, I don't believe the politicians are clueless. I'm not one of these people that are like, God, these people are so dumb. And they just don't realize the double speak. They know exactly what they're doing, and they don't care. The double speak, the double standards, they don't care about the double standard. They're counting on you to not remember and you not to care. They're counting on you to care today, but tomorrow go about another news story, another news article. Let's forget all this stuff. So they don't care if they have a double standard, or what they said yesterday and they said something completely different today, or they're condemning one country's actions when in fact they're doing exactly the same thing in their own country. They don't care about that. But will you remember when it comes to the ballot boxes is all I ask. So when I see this from Justin Trudeau, JT, our soft-spoken, eloquent man with long, luscious hair, fantastic hair. This guy has great hair. Totally real. That we just accept his words. He's so eloquent. He's so poetic as he speaks. The people, I love Canada. And you believe him with all your might because you want to. Because if he's wrong, God, we're screwed. If you live in Canada. But let's listen to the words. Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Chris Tucker. Let's listen to the words of Justin Trudeau and his thought process, his thinking, and listen to the words he says right here. And this is from a news conference today regarding Russia.
Canada and our allies will defend democracy. We are taking these actions today to stand against authoritarianism.
I'm sorry. I think I need to hear that one more time because it's hard to believe my ears.
Canada and our allies will defend democracy. We are taking these actions today.
We are defending democracy. I'll have another emergency enact order, please.
To stand against authoritarianism.
Authoritarianism. I'm glad Justin is making a stand against authoritarianism. Aren't you? And then you might be asking yourself, Derek, what I've heard this word, authoritarianism. I've heard it, and I think I know what it means. But I sometimes I forget what these words are. I work a normal job. I don't know these words off of the top of my head, but I'll oblige you. Let's look it up. Authoritarianism. So we know what he's saying as he says it. The enforcement or advocacy. You think of enforcement, advocacy. These are okay. Yeah, these are things I don't like enforcement. But advocacy is okay. Of strict obedience, I don't like that. That makes me feel uncomfortable. To authority, I really don't like that. I don't want to be told how to think or how to feel at the expense of personal freedom. God. The enforcement or advocacy of strict obedience to authority at the expense of personal freedom. And you're thinking, you're right, Justin. I am against that. I think people should have personal freedoms. I think like people should be, I don't know, like if there's like a shot that the government says that you should take or vaccine, whatever word you want to use, and then you just like your doctor says otherwise, or maybe you have religious obligations, whatever, that you should be able to have the personal freedom, right? Oh, wait a minute. Your authoritarianism. Okay, so when it's an emergency act, it's different.
It's a democracy. We have an emergency act. It's not an authoritarian regime that just tells you how to live. It's different. We only tell you how to live for these 7 days. And then we'll push the emergency act farther and we'll make new laws. And God, if you're unvaccinated, you cannot come across to the other side.
And I like this at the bottom too. The lack of concern for the wishes or opinions of others. It's like, yeah, oh, you have an opinion? You have a different opinion than me? I don't give a crap. Your opinion is going to be smushed because I don't care about your personal freedoms. You don't deserve personal freedom. So let's hear our Justin Trudeau, Mr. Emergencies Enactment Act man himself, as he cleared out all these people who wanted, I don't know, personal freedoms. If you think you're going crazy, you're not. If you're not laughing, you're crying. But this is where we are. So let's listen to this one more time.
And our allies will defend democracy. We are taking these actions today to stand against authoritarianism. The people of Ukraine, like all people, must be free to determine their own future. We will continue working.
God, did you just hear that? That's right. Ukraine, you need to have your own freedoms. It's important I'm so glad Trudeau is standing up for the Ukrainians. I don't know. Freedom, but not his own people. It's like Joe Biden. We got to stop Russia from crossing this border. Biden, what about your own border? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Come on, man.
Exactly. Keep listening.
With our international partners to safeguard Ukraine's territorial integrity and prevent further Russian aggression.
It's hard to even talk about this clip without mocking it, without ridiculing it from oblivion. I hope these people are held accountable. Because the irony is just too much to take sometimes. It's too heavily weighted sometimes. It's just like the honk honk lady from yesterday. It's just, you're crossing a line into psychosis, that you've created these delusions that he himself thinks that he is putting out these sanctions on Russia because he's defending democracy and he's defending against authoritarian regimes. As he himself, hey, my emergency powers were given to me through an election vote. Yeah, but you're still taking personal freedoms away. Yeah, but this is what they voted for. My encouragement to you is this. Hold politicians accountable for what they do. The doublespeak thing, keep a checklist because we forget this stuff. They need to be reminded. That's why they take down that Twitter account, Defiant L's. They don't like the mirror. These politicians, these celebrities, these blue check mark people on Twitter, they don't like to be held accountable. And for obvious reason. Because one day he'll go around taking away people's livelihoods, freezing their bank accounts, stealing their money, taking away business licenses, hunting down people that give $50, and then the next day is condemning Russia for being Russia, an authoritarian regime. And then, as always with my podcast, I try to bring it onto ourselves. My encouragement to you is don't be like these freaking politicians. Hold a mirror up to yourself. Ask yourself, do you accept who you are today? Learn to accept yourself and see yourself in a positive light. Don't be like these politicians who are just waving in the winds. Oh, I'm supposed to be like this? I'll be like that. Does it mean I get elected again? We got to stop this Russian invasion because I said so. Oh, but your personal freedoms get taken away. We're standing for democracy. My encouragement to you is to always do better, be better, but accept who you are in today's moment. Don't be like a politician who's just double speak, double standards, has zero integrity, doesn't care, will say one thing and do another thing the next day. Have integrity. If you say something, do it. If you believe in something, do it. And there's always an out if there's something you don't want to do. That's why when I look at all these Canadian cops who are just pressing down these authoritarian policies, and they're saying, I'm just doing my job, I'm stuck. Well, you've made your bed. You always have a choice in life. Always. Always, always, always have a choice in life to do good or not. You always have a choice. You just might not like the consequences of your choice. And that's something you have to deal with it yourself. But don't be like Justin. Don't just say something one day. If you believe in something with all your heart and your mind and soul, be that person. Be it to the fullest. Especially in today's world and our culture where it just seems like chaos is everywhere. You can't have one day of rest in the news. I know people get so overwhelmed and have full anxiety about the news. But this is real world stuff. You can't just shut out the world. It's learning how to cope with how crazy the world is. And one of the best ways to cope is to accept yourself first. Be okay with who you are today. Be okay with whatever emotions you're feeling today. Feeling depressed about what's going on in the world. You're feeling angry about what's going on in the world. Be angry. Be depressed. It's okay. It's okay not to be okay. I hope you guys have a freaking fantastic rest of your day. But I don't know about you, but I get so exhausted by these politicians and their double speak, their double standards, and they say one thing one day and they say it the next, and they care. It seems like they care more about people not in their own country at times. Because the actions always speak louder than words, don't they? Have a great rest of your day. Follow me on YouTube. I always put up tons of videos, short segments if I can. Check out my interview with Topher. He's got a new album dropping out. Check that out. He's a good dude. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I freaking love you. As always, I'll catch you on the next episode of The Derek O'Shea Show.